So welcome to my episode on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and some of my impressions on the hardware, on the games, looking at both machines and what it really means to me. Now, we are into next generation for consoles. PCs have had next generation for quite some time, super optimized games, absolutely fantastic. But I am talking about these consoles and what next generation means for them. I got both. They finally found a home. I was able to unbox them both, set them all up, and start playing the games and start downloading the games. There's a lot of things to talk about here. So let's talk about the size and the shape of these video game machines and what I think so far. I was totally surprised because the PlayStation 5 was gigantic. I was like totally taken back by that when I did the unboxing. And usually the Xbox is the gigantic console every generation, right? In size, I'm saying. So when I opened my Xbox Series X, I couldn't believe how tiny it was. And I was like, I did not expect this. This was a bit of a role reversal there. And Xbox has been doing really good by bringing their console sizes down over the years. Remember the original Xbox? Wow, what an amazing fun machine that was with the Duke. So the size of these machines kind of threw me off, but I was finally able to set them all up. Had a little bit of difficulty figuring out that stand at first because I want to lay my PlayStation down and I'm like, it's on an angle and I'm trying to adjust it. And I'm like, where do I put this thing? Finally figured that out, got it set up. So I started to play the games, and that's where all of the magic of these machines are. And I'm really going to talk about some of the games that I've been playing on these machines. Both of the machines were very easy to set up. I had no problem. I just signed in. All of a sudden, I'm there. What do I think about the interfaces of both? I think the Xbox is exactly pretty much what it used to be, and the new PlayStation 5 user interface, very easy to use, and it is new, but I was able to get through it all very, very simply. I didn't need a manual or go, where is that? I could always usually figure out where everything was, and I was able to optimize everything for the TV. And that's the thing. Coming into this generation, and last generation as well, there's so much finicking with every single machine to optimize it, and especially with the games. Even in the games, you're optimizing it for your TV. We all have different TVs, and so we're all trying to get the best picture for these games. So there's a lot of setup in that regard. Now, I'll talk about the Xbox Series first. I downloaded everything. I must admit, it was very easy to set up in the fact that I just signed in, and all of a sudden all my saves are there, everything's there. The thing that I didn't have was games, so I had to download all my games again, and with Smart Delivery, some of these games were getting upgrades, like Forza. I was very excited about that, so I downloaded Forza, and it was like 89 gigs. And thank God I have fast internet. I feel bad for a lot of people out there that have slow internet. I don't even know how you can do some of these things digitally. It's almost would be impossible if you have super slow internet. So even with fast internet, it took a little bit to download that, and I started queuing up all the rest of the games I wanted to have, and it basically downloaded for the entire day while I was playing certain games. And I want to say I went in and played Forza 4, and I've already said this on the channel before. It already was an amazing game. It still is an amazing game. Did I see the upgrades? I'm going to be flat out honest here. I didn't, because it looks as good as it did before. And so I'm like, am I seeing something different? Is it looking better? And I'm like, it looked great before. And I had one of those kind of moments where all of a sudden I was like, I don't know what's been upgraded, and the frame rate's been upgraded. It just looked great. I was just immersed into the experience. And so I'm not a channel like Digital Foundry that goes in and checks out the differences of both of those. To me, it was absolutely as fantastic as it was before, and I was just immersed into the experience. And I gotta say this though, I love Forza. I love Forza. It's my favorite racing game of all time now. I just sat last night and I was just in the zone and all that. So I did that. I did Yakuza. I started playing that and trying to check out some of the differences there. Some of them are very subtle, right? Some of them I'm like, I don't really see so much of a difference with some of these smart deliveries. But what I'm seeing is great. I definitely enjoy the size of the Xbox Series X. I like the interface. I'm able to get around it as I did before. and I like that I can update all of my games. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I was really going in and doing the smart delivery stuff on there because we didn't get Halo Infinite, and I really wanted that for launch. Obviously, they pulled it back. There was a bit of a backlash. I was one of those people too that I thought it looks good, but it doesn't look next generation Xbox Series X good for Halo, the next Halo. So anyways, we'll see what happens with Halo in the future, but so far very happy with the Xbox Series X. It's a nice little compact unit, super fast loading, and that's the thing that I did notice. A lot of the loading was improved, but graphic-wise and some of the smart delivery, I sometimes couldn't tell the difference because the games were already really good to begin with. So I got into the PS5 and I started dabbling in there. And what was really cool is as soon as I started up the system and started entering in, the country you're in and your language and all that, it's like, why don't you put a disc in if you have a game and we'll install while we do the setup? And I'm like, okay. And by the time I was finished the setup, which didn't take very long, the game was nearly installed. And that was going to be for Demon's Souls, because I was really looking forward to playing that. And I'll get into that in a second. So I had everything organized. I had everything downloaded the way it normally was. But then I had to go get my save files. So I had to go there and get that. I think it was a lot easier on the Xbox. Save files were automatically there. Where in this one, I had to go and manually download them to the system again. But then I got a chance to do the one thing I was super excited about, and that is to try out the new PlayStation 5 controller with the haptic sensory controls within. How were they? It is the one thing that has absolutely blown me away. Now, I thought it was going to be kind of cool but gimmicky, like the old rumble. You'd be like, oh, okay, it's rumbling and it's okay, kind of thing. That was a bit of fun back in the day. We've had the rumble features for a long time, and yes, we've had the trigger controllers feedback on the Xbox. But how is this controller going to do? Because there's been a lot of hype towards it. So the best way to try it out was to use the game software that comes bundled with the machine, Astro Playroom. And it's a great game into itself. It's a celebration of everything that is PlayStation, and it's really charming, and it hits all of the nostalgia. But the one thing that it does extremely well is it shows you all of the features of this controller, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. I was using it, and the haptics and the feeling throughout. There was one time where you feel like there's little balls inside and you can feel them like little marbles, and you're like, obviously there's no marbles, but that's how realistic and how well it works. Another feature was when I had the little robot and he was skating on ice and I'm controlling it, and I could feel the skate on the ice. I could feel the curving through the controller as I was moving it. I was like, I can't believe this. And there were so many other examples of the haptic feedback sensations, and that's the only way I can say it. It gives you so many different sensations, and please only use it as a controller, I'm telling you. But fantastic stuff. Very blown away with this. I will say this much: the controller that comes with the Xbox Series X, it's what we've seen before. There's no real changes there, except right here. Do you hear that? There's a bit of a grip on there. There's a little bit of a grip. You can probably see it. And it's weird. It feels like, I don't know, too rough against my fingers. Where the great thing is I can just go get, my Sea of Thieves controller and use that. And you can have any controller. And that's the one thing that the Xbox really has a lot of, is controllers. So you can pick the controller that's best for you. But in controllers, the PS5 has shocked me. Has absolutely shocked me. Even when I was playing Demon's Souls, some of the hits and some of the attacks that you would do, you feel through the controller in a very completely brand new way that I've never experienced before. And it took me back because I didn't think it would be as well implemented into the games and into the controller as it has been, where it makes a difference. It makes a difference. It's not just going, oh. You feel it when you do certain moves in the game. When you pull back, you feel a sensation that pulls back at times. I can't describe it. You have to experience that because that's the bit that is really fascinating with the controller. And then I got a chance to play some of the games, and I went back into all of the games that I have on the original PlayStation 4, and I was looking, and some of them you cannot download onto the PS5. You can't play them yet. So hopefully there's patches or updates into the future so that can happen, but most of the games were playable. Now, I got a chance to finally play Demon Souls. And what can I say about it? It's Demon Souls. That's the best way I can say it. It looks extraordinary. It looks next gen. And obviously, you're seeing footage right now that's 1080p, 60 frames a second. It does not do it justice in 4K. None of the footage for anything that's been shown, does it justice. You have to see it for yourself. The frame rate, the texturing, everything really comes together to create the ultimate Demon Souls experience. And I've been playing it, and I've been dying, and I've been playing it, and I've been dying, and I've been having a great time. And it's one of those things, the graphic fidelity is so strong, no matter how many times you die, you just have to keep going. You just have to keep persevering. And as a launch game, I think it's a big hit. And I think it's great for a lot of people who have never experienced the game, but understand it's very, very hard. My wife, God bless her, said something that made me laugh, and I tried not to make a big thing out of it. She said to me, she's like, "Oh, I really want to play this game." And I'm like, "Well," I said, "it's a little difficult." And she's like, "Well, is there an easy mode?" And I was laughing internally. I said, no. I said, "There's no easy mode." I'm like, that's everything that is not included in the game. But graphic-wise, gameplay-wise, it's Demon Souls that you played before, but given a facelift that is beyond onto the PS5, and something that I think will make fans of the series very, very happy. I started to play Sackboy. It's a very, very charming game. I had a little bit of fun with that. I honestly had more fun with Astro Playroom. For two cutesy games, Astro Playroom, which is included with the system, is awesome. I finished that game in the first sitting. I sat down, I'm like, yep. And I just sat there for a bunch of time, collecting everything you could in that and all that. But that's taking nothing away from Sackboy. I'm just saying, so far from the games I've been playing, I really enjoyed Astro Playroom. For cutesiness. But for cutesiness, Sackboy, Big Adventure is a lot of fun, and I just touched the surface of it, graphic-wise, all of that. It's doing the series a little bit of justice, for certain. Now, the big one. Miles Morales. What do I think of that game? What do I think about this game? I haven't put it in. And you know why? It's not because I don't want to play it. I desperately do. It's been very hard not to put it in. But there's so many things going on because next generation has started for consoles that some things are working, some things are not, some things are crashing. I've had friends of mine's machines die, so there's a lot of things to be wary about, right? So the one thing I heard about this game, you put into rest mode or whatever, it crashes the system. And so for me, I'm waiting for them to do an update to the game, to the machine, so none of that stuff happens. And that leads us into this. Yes, am I talking very positively about both these machines? Yes, because I have not had any issues with them. I have had no crashes or anything strange happen. Knock on wood. But I have friends of mine that have machines that have been buzzing and terrible things have been happening out there. People have bricked their machines by putting in a game and putting it into rest mode, right? That's absolutely nuts. So for everybody out there who is waiting, just wait. Next gen's not going anywhere. It's gonna be there in a year, it's gonna be there in 2 years. Some of us wanted to jump in and have this experience. And is it cool? Yes. Can you wait for it? Yes, you can wait for it. You can wait for it. Everything's fine. As I say, I was having so much fun on my Xbox One X. I love that. I mean, honestly, did I feel the need to upgrade? No, but I wanted to see what next gen brought for that, and I think I may have rushed too fast for that. I mean, until we get some really games that really start showing off the system more. But for honestly, you can wait for all of these things to get ironed out. You can wait for that, honestly. And there are so many great games on current gen. There's still so many great games on PS3, on Xbox 360 that nobody's ever played. We live in a time where there's so much choice. There are so many games on so many systems, and it's hard to wrap your head around because you can't, because I can't. I have a lot of games, I've been there through every generation, and even I cannot keep up with the amount of games that are produced every single year, and all the different updates and all the different versions. It's getting to that point. There used to be a time in my life where I could tell you, oh yeah, that game, gets that update, and this, and how many games are in that series. It's getting harder and harder to do that because there's so much produced now. And so we live in a time of great choice, and that's something that's kind of fun to say here, is that there's so many games out there. There's so many games out there that I haven't experienced, that other people haven't experienced. So next gen is something that is just hyped up. It is cool. It is the next generation of games, but there's so much wonderful stuff out there. I'm telling you, there's Super Nintendo games here that everybody should play. That if you haven't, just to experience those, they're equally as exciting and as fun as current generation, next generation type of thing. So don't feel bad if you can get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. Wait. Let them iron out all the bugs. Play some other games. There's so many, as I say, but these are some of the experiences that I've had so far with playing these machines. Am I happy I bought them? Yes, I'm a happy console gamer. I want to buy all the consoles. And did I have a good time? Yes, I've had a great time. I've been playing so many games. My thumbs were killing me. My thumbs were killing me from going from controller to controller and trying out so many games. So many that I couldn't even talk about today because there's so many that I played that it was overload. It was absolute overload. But those are my initial impressions of next-gen games and hardware so far. So anyways, guys, until next time.